I want to introduce you to a new AI video generator which is blowing everything else out of the water. I'm talking about better than Runway, better than Pika Labs, and perhaps even better than Sora. Sora, which promised us the world and never showed up or returned your calls. By the way, the release date for Sora is February next year, and I'm sure that it's going to get delayed once or twice before the actual launch. But maybe it won't matter because now we have Minimax, aka the tool that's already better than Sora, aka Hilo. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
我都喺度㗎喎，長筆黐線㗎。係啊。
But you might have guessed it by now with your keen detective intellect, but this video generator is straight out of China, which kind of explains why this video generator is so great. What do you mean? Well, let's just say they're not too strict on those laws of IP infringement. Just take a look at this Buckstars coffee. You heard me right. Not Starbucks, this is Buckstars, and that logo isn't suspicious at all. Or how about this delicious Kit Kat bar? Yep, doesn't look like Kit Kat at all. Or have you heard of 7-Eleven? What about its cousin 712? Then there is the multiple fake Apple stores, which there's too many to mention, but here's a few. This one's the iPhone store, not the Apple store, and then here we got the Apple store, but it's a typo, so it's S-T-O-E-R. Maybe the Apple store spelled correctly was already taken. Just maybe. But perhaps the worst offender is OFC, or Obama Fried Chicken, the audacity. This is all fun just to jest, but I think you get the point. There's not much impunity when it comes to IP infringement in China, so naturally, a model that trains on any movie without restrictions will be superior to anything else. This is the paradox of the AI race, and this is why China might have the upper hand in the future when it comes to training these types of data sets. Now, whether it's wrong or right, that's not me to determine. I'm just determining how good this video generator is and showing you the direction of AI video generation for the future. China also has the upper hand with the 1 billion plus people they have over us here in the USA. And let's just say they have the upper hand in AI video generation for sure, which is very apparent with this tool, Minimax. First things first, did I mention this tool is from China? Well, that means that you'll have to go to a translated site to use it. Don't worry, the link from my video description should bring you directly to the translated site. But if it doesn't, you can take the untranslated site that I'll also have in my video description, put in Google Translate to find the translated site. And if all else fails, I mean, you basically have a prompt box in 2 tabs, just figure out which one's which. It's pretty easy. You can still use this site in Chinese and figure everything out. The coolest thing is that there's no barrier to entry and you can start creating unlimited videos right after you watch this particular video that you're watching right now, and you click the thumbs up and you subscribe as well. Just kidding, but at least a like would help me out. Now let's take a look at some of these amazing, unbelievable videos, and they're really good. They're not just kind of good, they're the best AI video I've seen so far. And I've seen a lot. Now just going down the list here, we have some special effects, and look at that explosion. My goodness, the lights, the embers. I mean, this looks like it was actual special effects from a movie. There's so much going on here, and I think it does such a good job. Now you do have some tearing here in the corner doing some weird stuff, but I mean that could be explained by, I don't know, maybe the movie. It might be over for visual special effects artists if this goes any further, and this tool gets better and better. Now let's take a look at this weird scary hybrid animal plant crawling in the dirt. And so this is the prompt that actually created this, and practical effects post-apocalyptic movie. Definitely really cool. And this is amazing. Imagine the work and how many people you would need to actually create something like this. And this was generated in seconds. I mean, seconds it took to create the prompt. But right now it's an average of 2 minutes to 20 minutes to create a video. Now you can only make 6-second videos here, but you know, the human attention span isn't even that long anyways. It's like 3 seconds. I feel like I have more than a 3-second attention span, but maybe I'm wrong. But as you can see, you have a lot going on here. And so this video, probably out of all the videos, is more messed up because there's just so much stuff going on. So I can't believe the AI can even do what it's doing now. I mean, if you look closely, you'll see some of the horses warping. But one thing that it does really good is not meshing the legs together of horses, which AI video always messes up. So this one does a transition from the city to the ocean. And this is a perfect transition. This is not that weird AI video where everything kind of just jarbles and gets meshed up too much. This is just a clean transition into the ocean, which is pretty amazing. Now let's take a look at this kid playing a video game, and the video game character comes out of the computer, which is like for a commercial or something, which would be amazing. Look how cool that is. Which, by the way, virtual reality has come a long ways, and you can actually see this in real life now with AR goggles, or using like a Quest 3 or something. Now here's a bedroom. nothing special, but definitely. Oh, there it is. There's the special thing, is that regal cat. Pretty cool. Now there's a lot of cats here. Here's another cat. It's a pixel cat, and we have some spelling here. They got 2024 right, but I don't know about the rest of the stuff. We got September, but overall I think it does a good job, especially since AI is still in the beginning phases of spelling. Now let's look at this ocean shot right here. This looks super realistic, and wow, it transitions right into the ocean. That's pretty cool. So didn't expect that. Now let's take a look at this really cute modeling shot here of this cat walking on the runway. It's even looking at people like it's kind of losing its concentration, but the wolf is just like straight ahead, just like a model. One thing I like to point out here is with AI video generation, normally you'll see the legs mesh together. So this is pretty amazing, the accomplishment here, especially with the dog's legs here. The fur is moving like it should. The lighting and shadows are where they should be. I mean, you look at the cat shadow here, there's a shadow for its tail, and everything looks pretty amazing here. Now take a look at this car driving through Candyland, or whatever that is. Pretty surreal. Now we have like what it looks like Anakin Skywalker walking through a forest as if he was like a young Jedi on his way to meet Yoda or something like that in the first. Or is it the first? I don't know. I haven't really watched the old ones completely. But yeah, with the frame rate and everything, how the face is perfect. I mean, it looks like this is a real thing, like somebody actually filmed this. And the one thing I like to point out is normally with AI video generation, the faces are always jarbled. Like if you move it at all, or if you turn in any different direction, that usually the face is warping and changing into multiple different faces. This one is pretty coherent and pretty consistent. One thing I like to point out is his left arm is all weird when he walks over there. It's almost like it's broken or something, but other than that, pretty cool. Now here's a mermaid coming out of the water, and of course with the slow video generations, it's nothing short of perfection. And this is pretty surreal. You can see the lighting coming down on this side and her tail coming out of the water. Just how I thought a mermaid would be. And pretty scared with this one. I thought she was going to go up a little bit more, and there was going to be a nip slip or something. So, okay, I can still show this. This one is very, very, very good. This is a zombie going up to a Ring doorbell or a peephole, and man, this zombie looks gross. I mean, it looks exactly like a zombie should look without someone, doing hours of makeup on a person and actually hiring someone. It just got generated out of thin air. That's what's the crazy thing about this. Now let's take a look at this one right here. Is a lady putting on makeup. Everything looks perfect except for that one nail that just kind of comes out of your mouth. It seems like she's pulling that nail out of her mouth. But other than that, I mean, it's perfect. Look at this kind of steampunk robot walking through. This one's not too good, but it made me laugh. I don't know what that guy's shouting at him. Kind of random. All right, so here's some very spoiled dogs eating salmon and filet mignon. And this is Ultraman, I guess. Yeah, just the fact that it could mix these two, like have this coherent prompt with the weird kind of Ultraman reference is pretty amazing. Those are two very different things that it put in the same prompt. Now let's take a look at this egg right here. And so we have an egg, and it opens, and there's Minimax. So that's perfect spelling right there. And that's the name of this tool if you didn't watch the beginning. So that's actually perfect. That looks pretty good. So let's see how it does with anime. And that's pretty good. I mean, this looks like an anime. If you didn't tell me this was made with Minimax, or if you said it was made with Minimax, I didn't know what it was, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. This is an anime if I ever seen one. Imagine consistent characters and being able to make an entire movie like this. It would be great to see what the indie developers can come up with. And maybe we can finally get some good movies again. It's been pretty stale lately. Let's take a look at this dragon. We got a chubby dragon here with no arms. This one's not the best, but the clouds look pretty cool. So does the castle. The dragon's a little weird because it's just the wings flapping, but overall pretty good job. This Godzilla, man, that's pretty good. The animation's so smooth. The frames per second, and all the detail in the back too is so coherent. So that's pretty amazing to see. Forest, be really cool to make my own movie about, some fantasy kind of stuff. All right, and this is always the test for AI, is somebody eating. So we have a man eating here burger, I guess, with a bunch of junk food, and it's perfect. I mean, you look at Will Smith eating spaghetti. I mean, it looks like a horror movie. This looks like anybody eating a hamburger. I couldn't tell. One thing I like to mention too is his hands. His hands, his hair, and his face. Like his face is stable. Like when his mouth opened, it didn't go crazy like it would in normal generators. It's pretty natural. Also, his hands are perfect, which is weird because normally hands are usually messed up with AI. So this is very, very good. All right, so 2 last videos. We have a motorcycle going through the city, and man, this is not a slow moving video. So the fact that the AI video generator can do this is pretty advanced. And now we have a drone shot, and man, I guess I don't need a drone anymore. I could just AI video it. Here's another shot through a forest, panning down into a cute creature. And so this one is pretty amazing, even though it doesn't seem like it. You have a real character here with a cartoon or animated character right next to her. So, I mean, it's amazing that it can combine those 2 ideas together. Here we have an alien cockroach slash Muppet, or what does it say? Alien movie poster cover with Muppets. So I would like to see this Muppets movie. But it looks like, I mean, one of his legs is cut off, but this is pretty amazing. I mean, I would love to see a movie just like this. This tool is amazing. You look at these videos, they are stunning. There is no other video creator that can do this. Maybe Runway and Sora is supposed to be able to do this kind of stuff, but we'll see when Sora actually gets released. And I think they're going to run into some trouble in February with Hollywood. And that's what this tool is not going to run into. I mean, Hollywood's not going to do anything to China. So like I said, I feel like China has the advantage when it comes to these types of tools. They don't face the same scrutiny. But these are the cherry pick examples that are kind of being featured on the website here. I'm not sure, since this is not English, I'm not sure if these are just kind of the most popular generations or if these are directly from the company. So let's see how it looks like when we create our own generations, which you have 2 options here, selected and it's mine, because it's mine. Here are some generations I made, and they're all pretty amazing, with the exception of a few where the characters were holding weapons, and it seems to struggle with that. But the faces, the hands, and the characters were either perfect or almost perfect, and it's as good as I've ever seen in any AI generated videos. Now this site's pretty simple, and you have your prompt box here up at the top, and then you have these 2 tabs here for selected, which is the featured prompts that they have for you that we just looked over. And then we have the It's Mine, which is your video creation history. You know, it probably sounded a lot better before it was translated, but I think you can pick up what they're putting down, right? Anyways, the coherency is second to none. Let me show you the first video I created and show you what I mean. Now, when I saw this, it made me laugh. And this was the first video I generated, keep in mind, and it was just this amazing. So this is Dwayne Johnson as a live action Maui singing Thank You. And man, it turned out perfect. I mean, it even made him a little bit bigger, like how Maui's kind of thick, and that's definitely The Rock. So he has the hair, but it's a little bit more realistic on what it would look like if The Rock had that kind of hair, and he grew it out. It would be so interesting to see if when they do create like a live action, if it looks just like this, or if we could make a commercial of a live action Moana movie using the footage I create here. Anyways, this turned out perfect, at least in my opinion. Now we have a video of this dark elf just kind of, you know, peacefully opening her eyes, and the background is bokeh, so it understood it, and there was chaos in the background, and this one looks pretty good to me. Here's another Moana live action, and he looks a little bit more Asian here, but it still looks pretty damn good and pretty believable. Just that part where his eyes kind of went lazy. Now here's another one where she's holding a bow and it just went out of whack. And so anytime a character's holding something seems to be a problem. Now this one's pretty amazing. This is like from a movie that I want to see. This character look cool. And I put World of Warcraft Sylvana Windrunner smirking, and that would be a cool rendition of her, although the eyes should be glowing. But maybe it's before she took her transformation. Now here's another World of Warcraft one as she's looking to the destruction there. Pretty good. Here's another one, man. Pretty good generation. Now it's a little weird how the bird kind of like crawled up his back. But overall, still a really good generation. Here's another World of Warcraft elf thing. And pretty cool. Now this one is just kind of like a natural setting of a tiki. Now here's another scene from our fake Moana movie. Looks pretty cool. We could definitely make a trailer using this. And now here's a really cool one of Sylvanas, and this is kind of what I expected for a live action World of Warcraft movie. This would be a better movie than the one that's out there right now if we made something with this. And here's another dark elf, and man, she looks perfect. I mean, the bow looks kind of bent But the character herself looks pretty amazing, pretty perfect, if you ask me. Now here's a paladin resurrecting. We got some special effects there, and it looks just like the special effects in the game World of Warcraft, so that's pretty cool to see. Now here's a necromancer bringing a body to life. Oh man, that looks so cool. Even the way the body came to life and just ready to serve looks pretty cool. The zombie even has hair, which is pretty funny. So that is pretty amazing that this was done with a single prompt. And look at this. This one sentence created that. Imagine what you would need to create all of this. You would need a cast of characters and somebody with the skills to actually do this type of visual effects. And I'm telling you, that's not cheap. It's going to cost you a lot of money to make those actual effects. And we did this with one sentence. And this is crazy that this is just the beginning. So that's Minimax in a nutshell. And you could get started today just by going to the site and going to the prompt right here and just enter something in. And it doesn't even need to be the English translated site. I mean, you could basically understand that there's a prompt here. This one on the right is your stuff, and this one on the left is their stuff or other people's stuff. And then this is the big generate videos button. So, I mean, you don't even need to translate the site, but either way, all those links are in my description and you should go check it out. That's pretty much all I had. Definitely leave a like if you like this video or if you kind of like this tool. Now, don't get mad at me because, you know, this tool's from China and like IP infringement and all that. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just showing you a tool. I did not help make this tool, so just take it for what it is. But definitely check it out and you can make your own opinions and decisions based on what I showed you and what you do with your testing. So definitely leave a like. It helps me out a lot, and take it easy. Bye.